You're very welcome to Keynote 4, which is using Hodges' health career model as a framework for quality across the life cycle. My name's George Kernohan, and I'm Professor of Health Research at Ulster University. And I'm very glad to have this opportunity to speak to you about a framework that I think you may find useful. So I'd like to give you the summary of the presentation, which is on this slide. There's an imperative to deliver high quality evidence-based practice. We want to see fewer negative outcomes, reduce the number of complaints with fewer errors in our care processes, less critical incidences like falls. But where are the positive outcomes in nursing and midwifery? There seems to be a gap between theory and practice that means that we quite often end up dealing with negative aspects of care. So here I want to introduce Hodges' health career model. Hodges' health career model was developed 40 years ago, and it leads to a way of analysing healthcare that includes four main components: scientific care, interpersonal care, social care, and political or organisational care. So these four together help to achieve quality healthcare. And that's what this conference is really about. The model can inform curriculum in teaching. It can help with holistic care to ensure all aspects are covered. And it provides a convenient way whenever you've got to reflect on practice. So it closes the theory-practice gap. Just before we start, I have a picture of my hometown in Bangor, County Down in Northern Ireland. This picture shows the early morning view one street away from where I live. And you can see the reflection in the water and the rocks. And you can find your way around the coast of where I live and go for some nice walks.
Welcome, it's George Kernohan here, and I'm speaking to you from Bangor, Northern Ireland, my hometown. I've just stepped out to let you see the scenery that I have. Today I'm going to be speaking about a model to help you think about health. We think about health in different ways, and the model that I will speak about has four main ideas. I'll just mention them before we get started. We have the science or the clinical aspects of health that you'd probably be familiar with, and the physiological aspects. Then we have the human aspects, the humanistic, psychological component of how you feel and your motivation to take part in healthy activities. Then we have the sociological, environmental and cultural. When we're out and about, you get a feeling of fresh air, and that's the social and cultural and environmental aspects of health. And the last one is the organisational or political aspects of health. The council and the government, the those that have gone before to build the infrastructure for health. An awareness of these four main components is what I'm going to be talking to you about. So I'll see you shortly when I'm back on the PowerPoint, and we'll go into those components in a bit more detail.
Of course, it's quite a journey to travel from Bangor in County Down right over to Taiwan to visit Fuyin University. I'm sorry I'm not there in person. This journey is many miles, and today I'm joining you by video and through technology. The journey I will speak about a little bit more. You might remember, if you heard me speak before, about this long journey from research through to practice, in the same way that I have a long journey from home to the destination. So in the same way that the journey takes a long time and different kinds of travel, the journey from research to practice development can be quite complicated. And I try to think of that as a journey through qualitative, quantitative, evidence-based practice, and eventually leading on to practice development and service improvement. So this knowledge journey takes us from the research through a number of methods through to service improvement. But today I want to explore what are the components along this journey. What kind of map do we need to guide the journey? This is a health journey, so it's quite a complex issue to resolve. What are the components of the research journey in health? What is health research? Because health is quite a complex construct, we need a map. And the essence of a map are these ordinate lines. We have the individual to group on the vertical axis, and we have a horizontal axis that takes us from the human side through to the mechanistic side. These two axes help to map the construct of health. Now, this is the core of this Hodges health career model. Can you see we have the two main axes going from individual at the top through to the group or population at the bottom on the vertical axis. And we have the horizontal axis going from humanistic through to, on the right hand side, mechanistic. This conveniently provides four quadrants. These are the four core parts of health. We have a scientific part that's very clinical and to do with science and measurement. We have the interpersonal aspects to do with how we are motivated, the psychological aspects, the feelings and psychology. We have the sociological quadrant that tells us about how we relate to other people. And finally, we have the political quadrant that speaks to the way health is organised in our hospitals, clinics, and in our communities. So the model needs examples in order for it to become meaningful. And I want to show you some very recent mapping that was done in nutrition. So first of all, please notice the importance of these main axes in the model. Remember, we're going from the individual at the top to the population at the bottom, and from the human on the left to the mechanistic on the right. This puts the science of nutrition, in this case it's nutrition, we're going to look at the science elements. These are quite familiar to you. The idea of nutrition, the benefit of food, the processing, the cooking. These are the scientific elements to do with vitamins, the benefits of nutrition in a healthy human life. Then we have the interpersonal aspects of nutrition. What does the person know, and what do they understand, and are they motivated? Are they interested in engaging in healthy nutrition? Then in the lower quadrant, we have the sociological aspect of nutrition to do with family, upbringing, relationships, eating as a social activity, lifestyle. These are the social aspects of nutrition in health. And then lastly, the political, the organisational, the policy context that influences how nutrition is to be managed, provided for in our organisations. When we have all four of these considered, then we have the whole story. We have a complete analysis of how nutrition is enabled to become a healthy part of life. So this example is looking at nutrition. Now you could use the idea is that you could use this model in any area of health in order to map the four main component parts. So the Hodges Health Career Model provides quadrants to help analyze health from a holistic perspective, usually starting with the science in the top right, then the interpersonal and psychological in the top left at the individual level. Moving down to the population level, we have the sociological impact upon health. And then finally, in the bottom right quadrant, we have the political contribution from organisations and from policy. As you can see, the model is quite complicated. So what's the big idea? We have two axes that divide up the health concept into 4 domains. And that should enable health to be understood in a more complete way. The idea is that the Hodges health career model integrates together the 4 main elements of health so that we can be sure that all the important components have been considered. The model should help you with reflection on practice, because we should reflect on all the quadrants that go up to make health as an integrated whole. So when you're reflecting, reflect on the science, the interpersonal, the sociological, and the political. Lastly, Hodges' health career model closes the theory-practice gap, because the theory of it reflects exactly what practice needs to consider. So it effectively closes up the theory-practice gap. If you'd like to read a little bit more about Hodges' health career model, these are 2 references that will help. The first one is Doyle and Jones, and they, particularly Peter Jones, comes up again and again, and that paper builds on the Hodges model in mental health, in forensic mental health, a complicated area of care, and the 4 domains work well to understand the mental health nursing concept. The second reference, more recently, again Peter Jones with Wernitzer, looked at how the model helps to understand nutrition within nursing care, and also links it with the sustainable development goals that are global level. Quite a recent piece of work that I was involved in peer reviewing that. So 2 good references to help you if you'd like to follow up a bit more. I really hope that's been helpful for you. The Hodges health career model is a way of thinking about health that allows you to complete integrated picture of the main concepts within health. You have to make your own journey in this. Use this model as a map to guide your travels. Here you can see people making their travels back to Northern Ireland. We have a special causeway called the Giant's Causeway, and these ancient rocks are built in hexagons to make a path, a causeway that is supposed to link Northern Ireland with the rest of the world. So hopefully you'll get to see the Giant's Causeway and make your own journey, taking account of what we've learned about health. So I hope you've enjoyed that, using Hodges' health career model as a framework for quality across the life cycle. I've enjoyed speaking to you, and I hope to be able to answer some of your questions now. It's all about finding your way, the journey of research, and the concepts within health are very interesting. You may have some questions before we finish.